staging, but it was talking about levels of staging. When you talk about staging, are you talking about move everything out and let's completely modernize with staging?
No.
Do they supplement their stuff?
Yeah,
with
so
your stuff?
there's definitely stages of staging. In our world, there's really two major situations. There's vacant staging. So if your family has already moved across the country, or if this home was a rental home and the tenant moved out and now you want to sell it, well, that's vacant. There's no furniture, there's no furnishings in the home. So that is absolutely a scenario where we would have a staging company bring, basically movers, truck over furnishings. Now, those are carefully planned out and coordinated to fit the home and fit the floor plan and fit the look and, have the right feel and look and theme. So that's like you're going to basically decorate a whole house. With a home that's being currently lived in, we call that occupied staging. Right? That is where a stager is going to come in and work with what's already in the home. They're going to move one rug from a room to another room, move a vase from one room, or vase, if you prefer that pronunciation, from one room to another room. They might take a couple of the chairs out from around the dining room table to make it feel a little bit larger. So those are the two biggest types of staging. Then really, there shouldn't be any other stages, in my opinion, but there are. So you can have what we would consider a vacant stage again, where somebody would maybe stage the kitchen and a living room, and the rest of the house would feel a little bit weird. Now, that's better than nothing, but there's a dramatic difference in those rooms and the rooms that are not staged. With occupied staging, this is where it can really stick out, where someone has cleaned up and prepped the kitchen, the living room, and the master, and then you find that third bedroom is like crammed full of junk and you can't open the door. And so the other thing I'll just mention real quick is virtual staging. And I am not a fan of virtual staging. I will say there's maybe one or two scenarios where I could picture it, but that's where the house is vacant. It's always been vacant. It's going to be vacant when you go see it. But on the internet, someone has digitally placed furniture and furnishings
I've never heard of that.
in the home. Well,
Really?
Good for you. And the reason is it absolutely sets you up for disappointment. First of all, it doesn't usually look real. It's like a really bad Photoshop job is kind of how it looks. It's like when people, you're not allowed to do this, but people still do it, and they like color the yard green on the photo, and then you get there and it's dead. Like that's a bad idea. So is virtual staging. Even really good staging that you take away, or you take photos of a house when it's fully occupied and there's furniture and it looks great, and then you leave and people get there and it's vacant. Those are just bad strategies because a buyer is going to believe and expect one thing and then get there and sort of be let down. A very, very small percentage of the population can look at an empty house and picture their life there. It's very, very difficult to do that. So those are some thoughts on the different stages or types or approaches to staging.